back-to-back wins for Aberdeen, and we win an away game for the first time since October 2022. Didn't it feel good? Bojan Majowski and Duke now have 30 goals between them, of which 26 have come in the Scottish Premiership. Yesterday, Jack McKenzie made his 50th first-team appearance for the Dons. 11,408 were in attendance at Tannadice, of which 3,500 were Aberdeen fans, to see their team beat Dundee United by 3-1. It gave us movement mid-table. So this is the mid-table. I've put this together just so that it can put everything into context to see where we are. So we went above St Mirren. Obviously, they lost heavily today against Celtic. So at the beginning of the day, we started in 5th place, and we have ended the day in 5th place. But now, having gathered a little bit of momentum, quite frustratingly, we have to wait 2 weeks until our next game. But it's a big one, and it comes against Hearts at Pittodrie, as we chase down now 4th and potentially 3rd. Then it's St Johnstone, then it's Kilmarnock, then we travel to Ross County, and we finish before the split against Rangers at Pittodrie. Good evening, how are you doing? Welcome to the Ali Beg TV studio here on YouTube. It's Sunday night, and doesn't it feel good? Oh my God, wasn't that absolutely brilliant yesterday? I have to be honest, at 1-1, I thought we'd kind of blown it. But my God, the determination and the desire and the fight to go and get the victory, it was so good and it was so refreshing to see. And honestly, I think that is down to Barry Robson and his team of coaches who have started to really instill this belief in the boys. And I thought they were great yesterday for parts of the game. I thought we struggled a wee bit in the first half, but come the second half, when we really started to get a foothold in the game, just brilliant. What about that goal from Duke? Oh my goodness. It's just class. Everything about it is class. The fight to chase the ball down, the strength to beat the defender not once but twice, and then the sheer audacity to backheel it into the net, wearing a pair of Copa Mondial football boots as well. Mate, that just added a touch of class to the whole thing. It was just magnificent, and for me, it's got to be up there with a contender for goal of the season, because it was just a thing of beauty. Absolutely delighted for Marley Watkins to get his goal. I have to be honest, I've not been his biggest fan, but I was thrilled that he got his goal yesterday to seal the victory, and it was quite obvious what it meant to his teammates as well, as they crowded round him to congratulate him. Says a lot, I think. Shinza, the skipper, at the end. Oh, man. We have got to do everything to persuade Graham to come and rejoin us at the end of his loan period. He is exactly what we need. I actually thought he was quite quiet in the first half. I thought he was a little bit missing, but he came on to it in the second half. And that at the full-time whistle, it's just, I just love it. I just absolutely love it. Leighton Clarkson, his assists for Ross McCrory to score the second goal. Just brilliant vision, and to set up Marley Watkins as well. And it's what we said yesterday at half-time when we did the show at half-time. Just get balls into the box. Doesn't matter if it's driven into the box, if it's long crosses into the box. Just get the ball in there, because they will crumble. And that's exactly what happened. Absolutely fantastic. Made up. But, look, you know, we've been saying it for a wee while now. Let's not get carried away with ourselves. It's great to have that winning feeling. It's brilliant to get back-to-back wins. I'm just gutted we've got this little break now for 2 weeks, just while we've built up a sort of a steam of momentum. But what a game against Hearts coming up, and you just never know. I know we're a wee bit off it, but what a game that's going to be at Pittodrie. So yeah, just brilliant. It's just brilliant. It's, as I've been saying, it was a 6-game season. It was a 5-game season now. Just get us to the split, get into the top 6, and then you've got every right to fight for Europe next season. So absolutely brilliant. So this is the review show. come and join us. I'd be absolutely thrilled to get your thoughts on tonight. It's all about you, the fans. So we put everything to one side so that you guys can come on. And the idea behind this review show, like what will be most of my shows now going forward, what I want is I want Ali Beg ABTV on YouTube to feel like a safe environment for you to come and have your say. Because there are social media channels out there where, you know, if you post something, you give an opinion, and somebody doesn't agree with it, you just get dog's abuse. Now, I'm not saying that happens all the time, but it does happen a lot. And what I would like this channel to be, and I think it's important that you guys can come on and you can give your opinion without fear of retribution. So if you do leave your comments, please make them very respectful. Don't use bad language. And if you don't agree with some of the comments, just say why you don't agree with them. And, you know, feel free to sort of converse with each other, which has been brilliant to see recently as well, where, you know, you all respond to each other's comments, which is absolutely fantastic. So I do want this place to be a safe haven where people, you know, Aberdeen fans can come and express their opinions. And, you know, it doesn't matter what that opinion is. You know, you're entitled to it. So that's roughly what I'm trying to do here. But before we do that, before we get your comments on, so Barry after the game obviously was absolutely delighted with the win yesterday, but he gave a very interesting quote about Graham Shinney and why he made Graham Shinney the captain. This is what he said. So people ask why I made Shinney captain when he's only here on loan, but you could see why tonight. He wants to run for the club, win games, and he's a great example to look at. He gets a tackle in on the edge of our box that lifts the crowd. It lifts the team. That enthusiasm runs through him every day, and that's what you need if you want to be a player. I thought it was a great quote from Barry, and I just think it absolutely epitomises what Graham is about. And that tackle that he made on the edge of the box, again, is what we need. We need players to put their bodies on the line for the cause. And I thought Graham was absolutely brilliant yesterday, particularly in the second half. So yeah. So right, guys. So come on in. Let's get you onto the show tonight. Let's see how many of you are on and waiting. Fantastic. Over 100 of you already on tonight. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you for coming on. Okay, so if you enjoyed the show, huge favour, can you please press the old like button? If you're watching for the very first time, I'd be delighted if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel as well. It doesn't cost you anything, because we're edging ever closer to 2,500, and then we'll kick on up to 3,000. So thank you. Okay, so Paul Rickey has come on and said, to the so-called fans who threw stuff at Jim Goodwin, you are a disgrace to the club and yourselves. That the fine the club will get should be paid by you. Okay, so can I address this? All right. So I am not usually one to preach. Absolutely not. I don't think it's my place. And to be honest with you, how you behave at a football match is absolutely none of my business. So what I'd like to do is but I will offer some thoughts on it. I think, in regards to the alleged incidents that happened yesterday, I think first and foremost, when it came to the flair that came onto the pitch, I think whatever is going through your mind to do that, you first of all, you must take into consideration that potentially you are putting somebody in harm's way. And what was extremely troubling yesterday was that you nearly put one of our own players in harm's way because it landed just feet away from Ryan Duncan. When, I tip my hat to each and every one of you that continually travels the length and breadth of the country to support the football team, spending your hard-earned wages, particularly in these difficult financial and economic times, to support the football club. And yesterday, Your support, your unbelievable support, no doubt in my mind, helped the boys get over the line. You helped make the difference. But you should be old enough and mature enough that when you go to a football match, that you need to behave. And I think when you go to a football match, go to enjoy it with your pals. Go to enjoy it with your fellow fans. And yesterday we saw at the full-time whistle the togetherness of the fans, the staff, and the players. And for me personally, that's what football is all about. So all I'm saying is, please, when you go to support your team, be very mindful of your behaviour. Because the last thing that we want with our absolutely phenomenal reputation is to cloud that reputation, is to drag it into the gutter. And no matter our opinions and thoughts on Jim Goodwin during his time at Aberdeen, the alleged incidents, he did not deserve that. He came to our football club, he did his best for our football club, he wasn't good enough for our football club, and he's moved on. And that's where it should stop. So, as I said, I'm not here to preach, it's just a personal opinion and maybe some humble advice from someone who's got his own family, who's trying to bring up his kids the right way. Just go to football to enjoy it with your pals, that's all. Okay. Yeah, a few of you have commented on it. Absolutely fine. A few people are asking why we were not in the shed yesterday. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. If someone can shed some light on that, that'd be great. Yeah, so many of you are already talking about the fans who allegedly threw stuff. So, Gregor Stevens, 50 appearances for Jack McKenzie. Yep. Scott W has said, good evening, everyone. Hi, Scott. How you doing? Kaiser has said, Duke, fitter goalman. Ucha laddie. Hugh Robert Clark, I'm going to allow that comment. He said, Duke is pure porn. Oh dear. Gregor Stevens has said, Duke will be in the English top division within 2 years. Listen, the way he's going, there is absolutely no way that clubs are going to keep an eye on him and come calling. So let's just enjoy him while he's here. Kevin Ledge has said, brilliant win and an absolute class goal from Duke. Vital 3 points. Alan Nichol has said, glad for the win, especially for the 3,000 fans who were there. Paul Hurd has said, not too dissimilar to the Darville game and many others. I'm a bit concerned at another slow start. Yeah, we did start very slow yesterday, which was troubling, very troubling. They could have been 2 up in the first 5 minutes if it wasn't for Jay Gorta and Jack McKenzie, who, to be fair, made amends for his mistake. Mark Gibson has said, for some reason you deleted me from your Twitter. Oh, Mark, I've got no idea why or how. I'll look into that, fella. Certainly wasn't on purpose, unless you called me a name. Christopher Mainland has just basically said, don't throw objects. Mark Munn. Hi, Mark. How you doing? How nice is it to bury the bottom of the league with Jim in charge? The Mad Ferret has said, 3 very well taken goals yesterday. Duke's was an outstanding goal. John Grant has said, in the cold light of day, I reckon Duke and Gorta have saved us another defeat. We are missing something in midfield. Yeah, Jay made some vital saves yesterday. Have you seen some of the footage from the Dundee United fans after, I think it was our third goal? Jay's reaction to that goal is just absolutely brilliant. What a find he is. Kelly Roos, by the way, is back in full training. So it'll be very interesting to see the decision that Barry has to make to see who goes in goal for the Hearts game. John Bleasdale has come on. Hi, John. How you doing? We would have lost that game a month, 2 months, 6 months ago. Credit to Robson for instilling belief into the team. He's definitely put himself in the frame now. I completely agree. My goodness. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks, isn't it, in regards to if we get a new manager. Alan Nichol. What about Shinnie at the end? Tremendous. Oh, I said it at the top, Alan. I love him. I just love him. Alan Tasker. Barry Robson has just totally turned that team around. So good to see. Agreed, Alan. Rod Cow. Has there been a cheekier goal scored than Duke's? Just fantastic. Christopher Mainland. Love Shinnie's reaction at full time. That can't be faked. He gets it. Totally agree. Alexander Wallace has said, we are back where we should be. Barry has the players buzzing. Must be our choice for manager. Duke, unbelievable. Scott W has said, great result yesterday. Absolute filth from Duke for that opening goal. Great determination from the boys to get the other 2 goals and grab the points. There's a real fight in this team. Hugh Robert Clark has said, believe. Absolutely, we do. Gregor Stevens, does anybody else reckon Shinnie's passion, notwithstanding, has lost a yard of pace? Do you know, I think he has. And I think that's just come with age, I think. We have to remember, he's not been with us for a number of years now. And I think that's only natural that that's going to happen. But I still think his influence on our team, and more importantly, on our players, cannot be underestimated. What a leader he is. Lorraine Baxter. Hi, Lorraine. Hope you're okay. Good evening, folks. 3 great goals yesterday. Mark Munn. Shinnie's reaction at the end was incredible. Gregor Stevens. Shinnie has been missing a lot since returning. Love the guy, but he's lost a lot of his drive. He's lost a lot of his drive when it comes to sort of picking the ball up and driving at defenders. Yes, I agree, but I still think he's doing a very important job for us. Richard McKenzie, I said, was a much better performance second half. Love Shinnie's passion at the end of the match. That's what's been missing. Kaiser said, he makes a very good point. I was more pleased for all the travelling support. They deserved that one. They absolutely did. SITV Network has said, what a great result. Robson has been brilliant. Disappointing that our win is being overshadowed by some idiots throwing coins and pies at Goodwin. Also the video going about on social media, which I've not seen. And to be honest with you, I have absolutely no interest in looking at either. Gray Pilgrim also makes a very good point. Johnny Hayes was a ball of energy when he came on. We'll miss him when he hangs up his boots. Yeah, I agree. Can't be bothered has asked, will there be a new manager appointment during the wee break? So what we got now? We got 2 weeks. Alan Burrows said in his Red TV interview that he's hoping to get the new manager in sooner rather than later. So, boy, it's going to be very interesting. I tell you what, but I've got to be honest. I'm starting to sway this way, particularly over the past 24 hours. I do think we still need to appoint a new manager, as much as Barry has done well. But I think that whoever we bring in needs now to make Barry and Steve, and potentially Scott, part of a coaching staff or part of his staff, first team staff. Because I can see Barry becoming a manager, whether it's at us or another club. I think he's now ready for that step up, and I think he's showing already that I think he deserves an opportunity. So potentially he could have a mentor, somebody like that, so he can work under and just continually climb the ladder, gain as much experience as he possibly can. I don't know. Who knows? I just think he's doing unbelievably well. Elijah Box talking about Barry Robson. If Barry Robson wins against Hearts, then he might be a permanent manager. He certainly could. Liam Miller, what a good win. Super chuffed for the boys. Kaiser said, first half was reminiscent of Jim Goodwin's time as manager. Yeah, it was. I have to agree. Hugh Robert Clark has said, hopefully porn is not bad language. I think we can get away with it. Steve Gardine has come on. Hi, Steve. Improvement in the second half for sure. Ropey first half with way too slow a build-up. 3 great goals, more grit and determination than before. Scott W. has said, I really thought the way United lost was exactly how we've been losing games all season. Gregor Stevens has said, Robson won't get the gig full-time. Burrows more or less confirmed this. Yeah, that was my gut instinct. when watching his interview on Red TV during the week. Mark Mona said, Duke, this young lad has exceptional promise. Shinnie, that's how a captain plays. Derek Griffiths has said, good evening. Hi, Derek. How are you? The best Saturday night for a long time. The goals, oh my God, were totally class. Don't want to be overconfident, but bring on the hearts. We owe them a doing. Alexander Wallace agrees with my thoughts at the top about, your opinions on here. We need to vent our feelings. You can disagree because we all view things differently, but we all deserve our opinion. You do. You absolutely do. You see, that's what I want. I want you guys to have your opinion and feel that, you're not going to get dog's abuse for having that opinion. You're not going to get called names for having that opinion, as long as you're respectful. That's all I ask for. Okay. Savoury Slim Racing, how are you? 3 days before Shinnie came back to Pittodrie, my mate sent me a photo of a big house he has supposedly just bought in Nairn. Just saying. Okay. In response to that, Gregor Stevens has said, Nairn is a long, long way from Aberdeen. Yeah, more of you commenting about the alleged throwing incidents. Elijah Box again was commenting about the 3,000, I think it was about 3,500, wasn't it, yesterday at Tannadice. Good away support, absolutely brilliant. Steve Gardiner said the stand we were in was in complete coup. Sega Saturn Lad has wished everybody a very good evening. Elijah Box said Duke takes chances quickly. Agreed. Reedy81 has said away win was so important. Second half was a joy. It was important because we know that our away form has been absolutely dreadful, and it's our first away win, as I said at the top of the show, since October last year. So it was vital to get the win for so many reasons. And you just, honestly, these things will just do nothing but bring us even greater confidence going forward. Scooer has said, Jim Goodwin has been nothing but 100% respectful about Aberdeen since he left. Admits he tried his best but was not good enough. Does not deserve any of the abuse. Yeah, I agree. I just think, just let it go now. We've all had our say. I include myself in that. And, I even said yesterday on the Big Saturday Football Show that at the end of the day, the game with Jim coming in as the Dundee United manager, it's fantastic for the neutrals. It's a great story for the tabloids. It added an extra bit of spice. But at the end of the day, it should not have mattered a jot. Absolutely shouldn't. And it's done. He's gone. He's moved on. He's at a new club. We have new people at the helm now. That's the most important thing. Michael Scott has said, we won't win any cups this season, but we might just get goal of the season. It's little things in life that makes it all worthwhile. Interesting thoughts from Hugh Robert Clark. Think Duke is the new Zoltan Varga, who was probably the best natural midfielder ever to wear the famous red jersey. A lot of folk have actually commented about that. Kaiser said Zoltan Varga was a little bit before my time, but apparently a world-class player. Only with the Dons for one season. Elijah Boxer said Duke is a good striker for our away games. He will play good when he's having a good time. Kaiser said, if we can beat Hearts, there's a chance of catching them. I agree. I think there's a chance of catching them anyway. J-Mac has said, good result, but realistically, we should have lost had Dundee United been a slightly better team. Robson should not be considered for the manager. Listen, I respect that opinion. I don't know if I slightly agree with it. I actually thought Dundee United played well yesterday, particularly in the first half. And they surprised me, I have to be honest. But I just think that what Barry has instilled in the team recently is this. What he's trying to do is convey this message about how important it is that you're not just representing Aberdeen Football Club, you're representing a community, you're representing the fans, you represent the city, you represent the Shire. And I think that's the message that he's trying to get across. He wants those players to know that they should feel privileged to play for Aberdeen. And I think he's getting that message across. Scott W. said, I was fairly vocal in disagreeing with making Shinnie captain, but I have to admit I'm enjoying my humble pie with a big dose of cream. Good for you, Scott. John Bleasdale has said, redemption for McGrory too. From own goal disaster in last visit to Tannadice to scoring the vital second goal yesterday. Delighted for him. Yeah, good point, John. Duncan Forbes, 1972, has said, Hearts go to Celtic before playing us, and Hibs go to Parkhead the day we play Hearts. Barry has 2 weeks prep time. Yeah, good point. Very good point. Sega Saturn Lad has asked me, do I think the manager's choice is on Alan or still with Dave Cormack? I think it's on... I tell you what I think it is. I think it's a collective. So if you read anything into the interview that Alan gave to Red TV, Stephen Gunn and Willie Gardner had already started the process. They've already started their due diligence. And Alan has come in and he's obviously going to add to that. So I think that it will be a collective decision. I think Alan will have the final decision, but I think he will most definitely take the advice of those in and around the football department at the football club, 100%. And if you ask me, as hard as this might be for Barry, I also think he should ask for Barry's opinion as well. SITV Network has said it has to be Robson until the end of the season. To the end of the season, beg your pardon. Okay. Yeah, Mark Munn has said Barry is the assistant manager and a good experienced manager above him. Suze has said, not sure Barry would be happy to work under a new manager. Suze, you're right, that could definitely come into play. But I think, look, I know Barry. I don't know him overly well. I know him to say hello to and how you doing and how's your family and all that sort of stuff. And we can certainly stop and have a chat. But I don't know him well enough to understand if he would or if he wouldn't be happy to play. Do you know, right? So, honestly, you can't make this up. So, I've been freezing for weeks and weeks and weeks. So I got myself a heater, right? So the place is now nice and cozy. So because the place is nice and cozy and warm, I'm now infested with flies. And honestly, if you can hear them or see them buzzing about, again, I'm sorry. But honestly, you can't make it up. I get over one hurdle, I get myself nice and toasty, and the flies have come in because the place is so nice and warm. I can see one right now. And he's a big bugger as well. Honestly, you can't make it up. Can't be bothered has said, Barry is not my choice. Still think we need someone with more experience. Barry will manage AFC one day, but I think it's too soon to risk another transfer window like Stephen Glass or Jim Goodwin. Okay. All right, one last comment to finish off. John Grant, hi John, how are you? Clarkson is a player that can turn a game. Can't really leave him out, but he is a luxury who can go missing, but he certainly turned up second half. Yeah, I said that yesterday during the halftime show. By the way, thanks for watching the halftime show yesterday. We had lots of you on yesterday, which was fantastic. I said to him, yesterday, he's guilty of trying to find that Hollywood pass when all it needs is a simple pass. And the occasions when he got the ball into the box early in the first half, he caused them damage. Yesterday, he just simplified things. Wasn't looking for the difficult pass, was always looking for the easy ball. And the two balls that he played into the box to set up Ross and Marley was just absolutely phenomenal. So, guys, we are done. We've done half an hour. So, thank you so much for jumping on. It's been absolutely brilliant having you on, as always. Don't forget to like, Don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to help as well, contribute to Ali Beg AB TV, help us build here. You've already helped because through your generous subscription to the membership scheme, I went out and I bought a better camera. So I've upgraded the equipment, and that is purely down to you joining the membership scheme and me now reinvesting back into your generous help. So I've bought a new camera, which I hope you can see the difference, because now I'm not doing that annoying autofocus zooming in and out all the time and the camera shuddering, and it's a little bit clearer, isn't it? Everything's a lot more clearer. So that's down to you. So thank you. So if you want to join and continue me build here, we will. Guys, have an absolutely brilliant week. So the plans this week, because obviously there's no game this weekend, so I'm going to try and bring you more content. Going to be looking to do a review show, either Monday night or Tuesday night with a host of Aberdeen fans, and also looking to do another edition of Beg's Banter with an ex-player. And also this week, look out for my new project, The Accidental Pop Star, coming on YouTube. I can tell you that I have interviewed 80s icon Nick Kershaw, Chesney Hawkes, one hit wonder, just absolutely brilliant. I've interviewed a chap who was a drummer in a very popular band in the 90s called Let Loose, who had a huge hit with a song called Crazy For You, got to number 2 in 94. And only this past week, I interviewed Peter Cunha from D-Ream. Things can only get better. So those are the 4 interviews that will be launching the channel, and I have got 3 interviews lined up this week. I won't tell you who they are, but if you are a fan of music, you're going to love it. So The Accidental Pop Star is coming on YouTube this week. Look out for it. If you want to follow us on Twitter, the handle is Accidental P Star. So yeah, I can't wait to bring you that. Stories about music, the music industry, what it's like, fame, talking about fame, all that sort of stuff. Right, enough of me. Guys, have an absolutely fantastic week, and I shall see you again very soon. Take care. Bye for now.